Where'd you all go? Come on, this isn't funny.
Gotcha, bitch!
What's good, anime enthusiasts? Welcome to what I want to say the most unsettling, darkest. It makes you feel not even like bad to watch it. Maybe it's like, man, I need to wash my eyes out after watching this, or wash my ears out after listening to this. This is the most disturbing, possibly, episode to date for Shiboyugi. And it's not even like blood, guts, and glory. This is more sinister, possibly manipulation, survival instincts, and it really centers around like our new character that we really got introduced to last episode, Moegi, and maybe her mentor or the person that's really gonna be the focal point for next episode, Kyara. Now, so the first half, we start to see the beginning of the game, but in the second half, it's more Moegi and Kyara. God, what is her name again? Jesus, more Kyara. Both of them have their own section, and that one is we'll get to it when we get to it. But let's really begin because I want to say it's probably my second favorite episode. So, how do we begin? We begin with it's time's passed and it's a little bit before the game officially starts. And the stump team with Moegi, Moegi is like finalizing the divisions of her teams, and they're getting their gear ready in there and they're about to go. So, when the game starts, we see the stump team, they venture out into the quote-unquote forest, and it is so funny. Remember in last episode where you hear like the birds chirping, the insects of the forest? It was mainly just a big giant speaker. Well, the forest is nothing more just a maze of wall panels. It's so dystopian. And they're in like this like big stadium like arena, like they're playing laser tag, but they're playing laser tag with their lives. And these wall panels, of course, have the depiction of the trees, and they have these stock sound effects of the forest. And one of the stump girls gets spooked because one of the panels like showed an image of a rabbit, and when it plays a noise, its ear spins. It's like, what is this? It's crazy. Of course, and we see the other girls are moving around. They're trying to be careful, they're moving close to each other. And then one of them, we follow one for a bit, and we see her as she turns the corner, and she sees a member from the rapid team, and it looks like she's choking or strangling out one of her stump teammates. But unfortunately, because she's so new and fresh to the whole death game business, she gets stun locked, and then another rapid girl just snatches her from behind. Like, come on, like Moegi just went over this with you guys. Get it together. And so we follow the girl that gets snatched because now she's in the rabbit team's base and she's getting tickled for information. Why? Well, Yuki's supervising everything, and she's talking to Sumiyaki about everything. And Sumiyaki is like, so why are we doing this? And Yuki's like, well, we're not supposed to use violence. And Sumiyaki is like, I would have just broken her fingers off. And Yuki explains, it's like, hey, a breakdown in morals makes the group fall apart. Now, I want to pause out here for a moment. Look at this image of this particular character. That's Kyara. Jesus, I'll get her name correct one of these times. Kyara. Remember this person. Remember this girl. She is very important. Extremely important. And know that she's on the rabbit team. That's also important. So, afterwards, they talk for a little bit, and Sumiyaki starts to play around with Yuki, tickling her for a bit. And Sumiyaki slowly breaks down. She's no longer laughing. She's more getting serious and scared. And she reveals hey, this is my 30th game. And she believes in the wall of 30, the curse. So she believes that this game is going to be hell on earth for her. boy, foreshadowing is ridiculous. And it's Yugi calls her cute. Well, Yugi says that I didn't know you could look cute like this, because Sumiyaki is like, hey Yuki, let me hold on to you, like I'm worried. I'm like, whoa, okay, she's revealing herself. But you know, not everything can be like all hopes and dreams and happy, because we switch to Moegi and she's chasing down one of the rabbit girls. Unfortunately, she loses them in the process. Unfortunate. But then she spots one of her teammates, but her teammate gets shanked from behind, and Moegi is like, oh no, pulls out a pistol, starts firing, but she misses horribly, and now Moegi is getting chased down. Like, what is going on, girl? And while she's running, and suddenly she trips up on her own feet. And this imagery is hilarious. So it looks like she tripped over a stump, but there's no stump in the maze. It's that imagery, because remember, this is the Stump and the Rabbit story. This is a story where a rabbit goes through the fields, hits a stump and dies, and the farmer's like happy. The stump, being Moegi, trips over the stump. So now, quote unquote, the story is flipped. Now Moegi is gonna die by the rabbit. And Moegi is struggling hard, and it looks like she's about to go. But luckily, one of her teammates saves her from certain death, and they start to retreat back from the base. And while they're retreating, man, the soundscape is so good. It's terrifying. The imagery, you see the smoke rising from above the walls, and you hear nothing but gunshots and rabbit noises. It's a war zone. And now at the stump base, it gets so much more despairing. So it's like a decrease in morale and sanity. There's this girl that's continuously hitting the face on the tree that introduced them everything, but it keeps saying the same line over and over and over again, telling the girls to, you know, go out. It's like this face is like her coping mechanism. Like, maybe something's gonna change if I keep going. Like, she's insane. She's hoping that this face might say something different, but it's not. And another girl that's in the space is like, hey, yo, stop that. But she doesn't. And while the scene is playing, you still hear the face saying the same line over and over again. I felt like that girl saying, hey, if you don't stop, I'm going to go over there and knock you out. Stop hitting the face and making it say it. And then Moegi comes in, and she's telling everybody, yeah, we ran away because, you know, she's injured. There's a girl crying. The face keeps saying everything. The vibes are down. It sounds annoying, but at the same time, it paints the situation well. You feel stressed. You feel strained. You feel like you want to go insane. Guess what? The same girl that was like hitting the face walks up to Moegi, points the gun at Moegi. She says the same exact words that the face was saying, points that gun to her own temple, and eliminates herself from the game. What? Yo, this anime is crazy, and I love it so much. So after that, now we get into the second half. The second half begins with something about the nightjar. Now, this is the second half. This is where the backstory comes in. I'm not gonna do like a scene by scene, play by play of this. It's the reason why it's sort of telling their backstory alongside the tale of the nightjar and the sun. Let's first briefly talk about the reference, the story, the nightjar. So I had to look this up. It's Nightjar, Nighthawk, both of them interchangeably, but the main focus is not the main focus. The main idea is Nighthawk, or not idea, name. The main name is Nighthawk, not Nightjar, but Nightjar is the subspecies of Nighthawk is the subspecies of the Nightjar, things like that. The point is the story of the Nighthawk and the sun. The Nighthawk is one of the ugliest birds, and it gets teased and bullied by all the other birds because of how it looks. and about how it moves about. And even one of the second to ugliest birds feels like more pretty and more handsome because the Nighthawk exists. And even the real Hawk is like, yo, why do you got my name Hawk in your name? Like, you should change your name or I'm gonna come kill you. And it's so much like bad mouthing and downplay by all the other birds around the Nighthawk that he's like, all right, that's it. You know what? I'm gonna fly up high into the sky. I'm gonna go to the sun. And he goes up to the sun and he goes like, hey, yo, sun, just let me go up to you and help me, like, burn me up so that I may like have some sort of speck on me to make me shine at least bright. And the sun's like, nah, man, you're a Nighthawk. It's in your name. Go to the wait for the evening. Go up to the stars. And so that's what the Nighthawk does. Nighthawk goes up to the stars, and Nighthawk leads the stars, and each and all the stars, they're like, nah, bro, you good. You ain't nobody gonna deal with you, Nighthawk. And the Nighthawk gets passed up by everything in the stars. But the Nighthawk keeps going up and up and up and up and up and up until the point to where nobody else entertains him. And so the Nighthawk slowly gives out because he's exhausted and he just falls. But rather, he doesn't feel like he's falling or flying or ascending or whatever. But when he does open up his eyes, he sees that he has like a blue light on him, like phosphorus. And it's to this day that they say that they see the Nighthawk still shining. So it's like the Nighthawk star. That's the name of the story. So that's where the reference is. Now, how that comes into play with Moegi and Kyara is that Moegi is the Nighthawk and the sun is Kyara. But they're twisting the story a little bit because Moegi wants to be like the sun, Kyara, and Moegi pleads with the sun, which is Kyara, on how to be strong like the sun, how to be more pretty like the sun. And Kyara does indulge Moegi. But how do they meet? Well, what it looks like is during a game, Moegi is seeing Kyara just like mess up all the other girls. And that's what you have to see like last episode towards the end. And Moegi is held at knife to neck by Kyara. And Kyara starts asking her questions. And Moegi does pass the vibe check. Cool. Moegi gets to live. However, the most important thing to remember from this conversation is that Moegi has parents that are alive. And Moegi liked to kill her parents. At some point. Not now, just at some point. Remember this. So, Kyara takes Moegi under her wing. More than likely, more just like, giving Moegi a place to stay with Shion. And Shion's another girl that sees everything. Not really an important character, but it does highlight the, we'll say, disconnected / dysfunctional household that Shion and Kyara live in. Like, it's not like a disheveled place or anything. It's fine. But the atmosphere is creepy and uncaring. There's a Roomba that like goes around. There's like idle noise. And then Shion just takes something and throws it at whatever is making the noise. And Shion just ignoring Moegi because Moegi wants to make some kind of conversation, but nothing's happening. Like, Moegi is like in a place with two killer like girls, and they're not really bothering her with anything. And Moegi's just living within this negative energy space. At some point, Kairi takes Moegi to watch Kairi do her killing. And Kairi kills someone the same way Moegi killed Kabane. Kind of see where she picked up those skills from. Ugh. So slowly, Moegi is like learning from Kyara and more or less like eating away at her like morals. This scene, my favorite scene, the crab eating scene where Moegi and Kairi are like eating crabs. It's such a long scene that plays out. And if you have headphones, just listen to, both of them eating the crab, the cracking of the shells and claws. It's so cool. And they're just eating. It's so unsettling. The tension is high. Like even when Kyra just throws like a piece of crab to the side, it scares Moegi. I'm like, what's going on? And then Kyra just goes back to eating her crab. And she doesn't say a single word for a very long time. And you as a listener and watcher, you're right there in that scene. You feel like a fly on the wall, or you're actually there eating with them too. And you're just watching Kyra, just hoping like, oh God, oh she doesn't go crazy. Oh, she doesn't go berserk. But eventually, Kyra just opened up conversation. Hey Moegi, killed your parents yet? So Moegi goes off and kills her parents. And then when Moegi gets back to the place, Kyara consoles her, hugging her from behind. And while Moegi is like struggling to breathe, Kyra just does a slow breathing exercise. Again, you hear Kyra breathing, and Moegi, she's slowly like getting her breath back, and she's slowly being quiet. And when you hear Kyra breathe in and out, you're like, oh, hold on. This ASMR is not what I signed up for. This is not cute. This is deadly. A serial killer is breathing down my neck, calming me down. That's no bueno. That's not good. But it's so cool. And towards the end of it all, Moegi, not saying it to Kyra, but saying it more in our mind and connecting the Nighthawk to the Sun story, that Moegi wants to be as strong as Kyra, to be as calm in a tense situation, to do what Kyra is able to do with a straight face, with no emotions whatsoever. That's what Moegi wants. That's not what you want, girl. But you know what? To each their own. You have your role model. You have your role models. So after that, we cut back to now the really tail end of this episode, where we cut back to both teams. First is Moegi being told about a stump girl that's now dead and naked and is like brutally wounded. Then it switches back to Yuki's team with the rabbits. And Sumiyaki is asking Yuki, hey, you seen a girl with long caramel colored hair? And then something happens where Hakushi is like about to give out some like desperate orders. And then it switches back and forth between both teams because now, oh no, Kyara, she's on a killing spree. Moegi says that when she stops, it ain't gonna stop. Hakushi yells like, hey yo girls, we got a homicidal maniac amongst us. And then before you know it, pine cone grenades come in, smoke starts to billow out. It's about to go down. And the episode ends. So I want to say this won't be my favorite episode, probably my second top favorite episode of this anime overall. But I want to say this is like the best episode to really highlight the strengths of Shiboyugi. The long pacing, the soundscape, the ASMR that you hear on everything. It is dialed up to 11, not as much as in loudness, but more in tone. Especially tone that you get with this episode in particular. It is dark. It is creepy. It is borderline, yo, hold on. This world is what now? It really paints the picture of how deranged this world is, as what the anime itself tells you is, hey, this is the deranged world. This is what we have. Thank you, Moegi, for existing. Thank you, Kyara, for really existing. So yeah, and of course, this is Candlewoods, that terrible game, and a lot of girls are going to be eliminated. They're going to turn into white stuffing at the end of this. So with that being said, let me know what y'all think about the episode below in the comments. I can't wait for the next episode. I can't wait for Kyara to just really be that killing machine. I can't wait for that. I don't know what Moogie's going to do. I think Moegi is gonna disappear along from Kyra because I don't think Moegi can like bring herself to take out Kyra. Also, this is Yuki's ninth game. How is she gonna survive all this? So many questions. Can't wait to see them answered. With that being said, hope all of you have a good day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. And I hope your day is just a little bit better than it already is. With that, we'll catch y'all in the next episode. Peace.